two stories about mediumship. Now, I don't promote myself as a medium. I do a lot of things, but generally, when I am connecting with souls that have crossed over, I'm connecting with their higher selves. So I can tune into where their souls are. Are they around, available to us? Have they reincarnated? Are they in a healing place? Are they in some kind of angel or guide school, etc.? And I can get some messages there, but I always say if you are looking for specific answers from the specific personality of this spirit, there are other people who do that very, very, very well. Now, that being said, there are sometimes energies that come through to me very clearly. And the first one I'm going to talk about is one that happened just last night, actually. I was thinking about how I don't have a lot of family members or people that I was close to who have transitioned who visit me. I haven't experienced a lot of death in my lifetime as of yet, but I have grandparents that I was close to. There was a boyfriend in college who died very tragically when he was in his 20s. But I was feeling as I was following this thread that there was something coming through. Now, what I have experienced, interestingly enough, is I've had a lot of teachers die, like very soon or immediately after I worked with them. And this was in high school and beyond. I went to a boarding school for high school, so I had close relationships with some of my teachers. I was in a conservatory program for college, so again, very close to teachers. And in a short span of time, like after I graduated from these different institutions, I had teachers who transitioned, which not that it only had to do with me, obviously, but there was this feeling that I had been called to be in one of their last classes before their work on this planet was done. And I've had some amazing teachers. These were all incredible, incredible, incredible teachers. So as I was tuning in, getting curious about this thought that had dropped down, um, and following it to realize there was a teacher who was coming through to me. And I was asking about a couple of those teachers I had when I was older, my teenage years and in my 20s, and I didn't feel like it was that. I'm actually feeling him coming in now, and he's really excited that I'm talking about this in this capacity. And it hit that this was my fourth grade teacher, Nick Nordine, who was one of the best teachers I ever had. I'm so lucky to have had him in this small town in Michigan. And he was so creative. He was so fun. It was a great year of students. They were trying something new with, putting some of the kids who were testing at higher levels in the same class together. And we just had the best time. It was like all my friends were in this class, and he just gave so much of himself to his students, just above and beyond, above and beyond. I remember I really wanted him to be my dad. I think my mom must have gotten divorced that year or something. I don't know. I remember having fantasies that like he was my dad. I'm pretty sure he was queer, but I don't know if he was out. And he died like a year or two after he retired. I was probably in his early 60s, like really clear that like after he was done teaching there, he didn't feel like there was anything else for him subconsciously. And so as I hit on this last night, I was like, Mr. Nordine, what are you doing here? And I just got the feeling he was having so much fun. He was so joyful, such a big personality, and that he was having so much fun zipping around in the afterlife into the cosmos. But there was an aspect that was feeling a little bit I don't know if lonely is the right word, but more wanting to share, like really wanting to share it. And that I was able to connect. I was able to tune in. I was one of his favorite students. I know that. And he was opening up this dialogue with me to reveal, this new level of love and expansion that he was experiencing now in a new way. And my light was on as opposed to other people in his life. And he was going to leave me for now because I was getting ready to go to bed. But he was like, but I'm going to be back. And I'm so excited that we get to have a relationship in this way now. And it's important that as I'm sharing this, I'm talking so much about the feeling of things because as we're talking about psychic abilities, every single client I work with who comes to me feeling like their psychic abilities are opening up, they have some kind of preconceived notion of what it means to be psychic or intuitive. And as we move through the process and do some clearing and we get really curious about some blocks that are coming up, it always becomes clear that they are so much more psychic than they give themselves credit for. They just haven't had a vocabulary for it yet. And if you feel that some of this is available to you, it's very important that you, instead of tuning into hearing their voice or seeing them, always start with the feeling, start with what's called your clairsentience. We want to start with the lowest hanging fruit of our intuitive skills. And for most of us, that is the lowest hanging fruit. And not for everyone, but for most of us. And as you lean into that, other things will absolutely unfold for you. The second story I want to share, which also came up yesterday as I was thinking about Nick Nordine and my teachers. I was like, well, there is this one energy that actually does come visit me. And it's not a soul that I knew in this lifetime. It's actually the grandfather of a client that I have. And she worked with me in my private mentorship. And we were really working on opening up her mediumship abilities, which completely surprised her, which she was not expecting, and just blossomed in these really beautiful ways. She's now doing sessions for clients, and it's just so, so, so special. And she was very close to her grandfather. And early on in our work, he started showing up in our sessions. And I just felt such love, such a good man. He just, loved her so much and was so supportive for all of the big moves she was making, all this ancestral trauma she was clearing, claiming her joy, setting those boundaries, just saying yes to her worthiness. And I recently reconnected with her. Our mentorship ended a couple months ago, and she has lineages from Mexico. And I was in Oaxaca a couple at the end of last year, and not only did her grandfather come through to me at this point, but also her father who has transitioned and a grandmother, and they all had like different energy and messages and were excited about different things that I was doing. It was amazing. I felt so blessed. I felt so lucky. I was so 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 grateful. And so fast forward to last week or 2 weeks ago, and I had a reconnection with this client. And before we went into the session, the day before, this grandfather came through to me and he was like, you got to help her. And he was very urgent about it. And I was like, I know, I'm going to help her. I promise I'm on it. He was like, okay, you really got to help her. I said, I will. I absolutely promise. I will show up. I will be there for her. Like she deserves this. I love her. Like, absolutely. And we did the session. It was wonderful. It was a couple days later. I had seen this account, this young woman I follow, who lives in southern Mexico, and she was talking about wearing her grandfather's clothes who had transitioned. It was so beautiful, so heartwarming. I sent it to my client, and she had responded that she had just gone to some event where she had brought her grandfather's handkerchief, and it had meant so much to her. It was such a symbol of the love that she is receiving, that she is capable of receiving. It was really touching. And after I received that, I heard another message from the grandfather who said to me, please tell her that it is a gift for me to be able to give to her in this capacity, in this higher dimension. And for her to be able to receive it is the most glorious experience that I've ever had. And it was just so beautiful to be able to share it with her, and it meant so much to her. And it's just a wonderful lesson for all of us. And as we're talking about working with these different energies, we are being asked to allow our energy field to raise, our vibration to raise. Their vibration is lowering just a little bit so we can meet there. So because I again am kind of working in a different way, these specific souls are very determined and maybe a little more experienced in this way sometimes, or they're so eager to come through that I am able to connect with them in that more one-on-one, their personality way. And it's always exciting when it comes through. So maybe this is something that's coming more online for me. If you are feeling your mediumship skills coming online, please let me know. I work with people around the world, helping them open up whatever their psychic abilities are, even if I don't have them. It also is my gift that I am able to unlock these things in other people, whether it's telepathy or animal communication, clairvoyancy, astral traveling, like whatever it is, people come to me and we pull on all these threads to reveal their essence, because the spiritual awakening, the psychic development journey is the authenticity journey. It is the empowerment journey. It is the worthiness journey. It's all one and the same. So if you're looking for some support, all the information is below. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being on your spiritual journey. You are helping to raise the vibration of the planet. I'll keep you posted. Bye for now.